On the mound in the bottom half.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani has thrown the ball so well at the beginning part of the season. My go-tos to continue this stretch, and even going back over his last 10 starts, we showed is being creative with his out pitches. In other words, don't follow this all with sweeper. Use the curve, sweeper, splitter combo for chases throughout this game.
Sweeper was in full force in his last start against the Washington Nationals.
That leadoff batter, though, has been a challenge for Shohei all 3 games. And you know that when you're looking at scouting reports as far as command earlier for Shohei Ohtani.
Raimel Tapia leading off instead of Verdugo today. And Ohtani again falling behind. We've seen Shohei with a lot of walks here in the early part of the season. He's walked 12 in 19 innings, but he's only given up 6 hits. So even with 12 walks, his whip is under 1. 13 walks as Ohtani nowhere near the zone on the first 4 pitches to Raimel Tapia. Here's who's behind Tapia, most notably Rafael Devers batting second today. Masataka Yoshida, Ohtani's teammate on Samurai Japan during the World Baseball Classic, hitting cleanup and DHing today. Jaron Duran, just recalled from AAA, is in center field, his first game this season at the big league level for Boston. Devers has 7 homers, the American League leader.
Amazing after you see 4 pitches in a row out of the zone, you have Devers up there swinging the first pitch. He's had success on the first pitch throughout his career, but you also look against Shohei. That might be your best shot, even though he wasn't in the zone early. That's a smart decision by Devers to be ready. Now Shohei ahead of the count.
The backstop it goes, and to second base goes Tapia. So leadoff walk and then a wild pitch.
And the defense behind Shohei Ohtani trying to put up that 0 here. You got Gio Urshela at third base. Third baseman here in this ballpark becomes so important as far as, first of all, making the plays at third, but also that bounce off that short wall towards left field too. So you got to be very active. You got Neto at short. You got Drury and Lamb on that side, and in the outfield, Ward, Phillips, Renfroe in the outfield.
Mike Trout in there today. No Rendon either.
And Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. These two have worked together so well for just the limited amount of time they've pitched and caught each other.
O'Hoppe's been behind the plate for all of Ohtani's innings so far. Shohei's allowed just 1 run in his first 19 innings with O'Hoppe behind the plate. Another wild pitch. Tapia's at third.
Remember, that's that front shoulder that Logan O'Hoppe had a tough time with on the swing. So that's the arm he's reaching on an overthrown pitch. Here he's got to reach on the backhand. That's that front shoulder. So that might be something we can keep an eye on even from the catching position for Logan O'Hoppe as the game progresses.
2-2 on Devers. He's able to make some contact on a good pitch from Ohtani. That sweeper that buried down and in. A walk and 2 wild pitches has effectively made it a leadoff triple for Tapia. The 2-2 again to Devers. This is with the fastball. 98.
Wow, 98. This is where Shohei gets so creative now. He has that fastball close enough. You hear the oohs and ahs in the stands. The hitter more apt to go after a pitch a little bit low now.
Inside out swing and a pop up in foul ground. Urshela able to make the catch. And then he dropped the ball after.
That's on the transfer.
Carlos Torres, the third base umpire, all over it, saying that Urshela dropped that on the transfer. We'll see if the Red Sox take a look in the dugout. And they will say play on. There's the catch, and clearly he had it for a while before it dropped out as he was taking the ball into his bare hand.
Remember a few years ago when that rule, remember you had to bring it out into your throwing hand. That was a big thing. It happened early, but then they clarified that play if it's in the glove in that period of time where you're taking a step or two, it's going to be considered an out.
1 out. Here's Ref Snyder batting third again, even with a right-hander on the mound. Ref Snyder much better against lefties than right-handers. And Shohei dials up 97 for the first pitch strike.
This gets real interesting now, especially ahead of the count with that sweeper he has, how easy it will be or how hard it's going to be for Ohapi to reach on the outside part of the plate.
This is where Ohtani has excelled over the last few years on the mound. These moments where he's dealing with some adversity, runners in scoring position. One hopper to short. Neto takes a look at the plate. The run scores. And Ref Snyder able to knock in Tapia. So the Red Sox are on the board. The Angels lead is 4-1.
Ref Snyder, that's a pretty good at bat though, with 2 strikes to make contact against Shohei Ohtani. When you look at his numbers, when he gets to 2 strikes and what pitches he can go to, it's generally going to result in a strikeout. That's a big run for the Red Sox to feel back in the game against Shohei Ohtani.
Now the matchup they're waiting for in Japan, certainly. It's Ohtani against Yoshida. First pitch breaking ball strike. Yoshida and Ohtani teammates for Samurai Japan during the World Baseball Classic. Yoshida said he got a lot of advice from Shohei on how to attack certain pitchers that he would end up seeing in the U.S. Not sure Shohei gave him any advice about himself, though.
No. He says, I think you should look for fastball against me all the time. So he starts off with a couple sweepers.
It's the first of a 5-year deal for Yoshida with the Red Sox, signed for $90 million. Just missed with that curve.
That could have easily been called a strike. Close enough. Pretty good pitch for Shohei. Curveball looks like it's touching that lower part of the strike zone.
Yoshida strikes out on a high heater from Ohtani as Shohei wins round 1 against his former Japanese teammate. It's 4-1 Angels after an inning.
And maybe even a partridge in a pear tree at that point.
And is the FAA available? FCC? We need somebody to help us out here. This is why they need the PitchCom, by the way, because Shohei's got a million pitches to throw.
Looks like we got it settled here. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The pitch arsenal: sweeper 50%, four-seamer 26. You also see he'll throw his cutter. He'll also throw his splitter at nearly 8%. And an occasional slider and that cutter. Curveball about 2%.
There's a good pitch on the sweeper to get a swing and miss from Casas, who was way out in front. Casas has a lot of power. He was not hit for much average at the major league level. Hit a handful of homers last September, including one off Garrett Cole. It's under this one. It's a lazy fly ball for Brett Phillips, playing center field today.
That might be your goal, for especially with Shohei. He's more of a strikeout fly ball type pitcher anyhow. With the conditions like that, like this right now, especially in that infield dirt, fly ball, strikeout. And you try to avoid that in this ballpark with the dimensions, but I think it plays better for Shohei as compared to Bayo on the way he throws the baseball.
Bayo's already allowed 5 runs, and he's thrown a whole lot of pitches in the first 2 innings. Here's Kike Hernandez. Shohei pumps in a strike. Tommy's got more strikeouts than anybody with that sweeper over the last couple of years. There's a nasty one.
It's an unhittable one. Especially if you're able to throw that sweeper for a strike, and then you can expand the strike zone with that horizontal break he has. Almost impossible to make good contact.
Throw it again.
Wow.
Take strike 3. Kike Hernandez has a seat. That was sweeperific from Shohei Ohtani against Hernandez.
Go away. They were nasty. You talk about some break and some spin and some horizontal break to it. That one Middle of the plate, outside corner. Follows it right back up with an even better one. That late break and catch in the corner at 84. You're talking about spin rate of about 2,600 just about.
Second strikeout for Ohtani. He's retired 5 straight since the leadoff walk in the first. Here's Reese McGuire, left-handed batting catcher. We've seen McGuire at the plate once in this series. He reached base on the second of Matt Theis's catcher's interference calls in the 8th inning on Saturday. The Angels only had 2 catcher's interference calls against them all of last year. They had 2 in 1 inning on Saturday. The sweepers are looking devastating here in the rain at Fenway.
Little angry Shohei in between that delay there, and you're seeing some nasty angry sweepers going.
He's thrown that pitch almost 60% of the time here today. McGuire lucky to get a piece on a check swing.
So now you threw it in the strike zone as a young hitter at the plate. Now Shohei can go that one down and in, or you can even try that backdoor slow curveball.
Ohtani, Dylan Cease 1-2 in strikeouts on non-fastballs. That was a fastball, and again McGuire with a defensive swing able to make some contact.
And 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
McGuire came up in the Blue Jays system, spent a little time with the White Sox, now with the Red Sox. And he waves and misses at the breaking ball for strike 3. Ohapi sends it to first. Shohei Ohtani sweeping his way through the second. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning. So we'll wait this one out. And they'll be here as long as it takes today to make sure they play this game. The Angels have the lead. We're in the 3rd inning. And when we come back, we'll send it back to our studio with Ken French and Bobby Valentine.